What's shaking, Chewy Nation? ChewbaccaLemma here, back with another Madden 19 Ultimate Team video. I hope you guys had good success pulling your full legend. Thank you for all the support on that pack opening, small one in the last video. But today, or tonight, when this goes up, we will be looking at the free 93s you get. All you gotta do is do 40 solos. They only take about 2 hours, not very long, and you get your choice of 93 at the end. So there's 8 of them. I know others have done videos on them, but mine, I don't know if I want to say are the best, but they give you the most information about the players. So I'm excited about it. If you like this video, a thumbs up would be appreciated. Let's go ahead and rank them. Give me your rankings down below as well, or at least tell me where I'm way off, or where I got it right, maybe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and get into the rankings. Coming in at number 8, Adam Thielen. Unfortunately, Adam Thielen falls a little bit short for myself. He is a wide receiver. You do have to have 3-4 good wide receivers on your team, so you would think that would help him out more on where I rank him, because I definitely take that into account, but he's just not that good in my opinion. When we start looking at it, he's definitely well-rounded. You could say that. His speed at 89 puts him tied for 23rd at the position. His jumping tied for 14th at 90. Catching tied for 5th, but catching, I mean, I don't really know how much that really matters. Catching traffic at 89, tied for 18th. Spectacular catch puts him tied for 8th. Short route running tied for 6th. Medium tied for 5th. And deep route running tied for 13th. So with all those numbers out there, it looks like he's pretty good at a lot of things. Maybe not fantastic at much. He's a good run blocker. He doesn't have as good impact block, though, to back that up. But he's still a very good run blocker. So you like that. I just feel like when I look at this card, it's just meh. It's just meh. I would compare him to a DeAndre Hopkins, except DeAndre has that catch in traffic, that like +6 in catch in traffic, which is obviously quite the difference. So I would say very solid wide receiver. I think he's fine, but I think you can find really good values at wide receiver. I would personally not pick him as my 93. No disrespect. You're having a fantastic year, Adam Thielen, but you get last place. I'm so sorry. Somebody has to be last. They're all good cards. You're number 8. Coming in at number 7, Alvin Kamara. Now, this one might be a little questionable. You look at it and you're like, and you're going to look at his numbers here. They're pretty good compared to the position, but we'll talk about why he's number 7 in a minute. His speed at 90 is tied for 7th at the position. Excel is 1st, behind no one. No one's even tied with him. Agility tied for 1st with 94. Carrying at 86. Don't really fumble too much, I feel like, on balance this year. 86, though, maybe could be a little bit of an issue. Tied for 39th. The catching at 78, they gave him a +10 from his Mutt Hero. They listened to the community. Shoutouts to EA, because they know they got it wrong with the 68. So they gave him a +10 with only a +3 overall. Elusiveness, also 1st. The catching was tied for 4th, if I didn't mention that. Trucking, tied for 38th. Kind of note. I mean, that's not bad. 81, and then break tackle at 91, tied for 4th. So why is he number 7? If you look at those numbers, he's actually one of the best at his position, for sure. I think you could say he is one of the best at his position. But the issue is, everybody I know has Ricky Williams. Now, if you don't have Ricky, or you want a second back, you're like, yeah, this guy's really good. You also have that Saquon Barkley. You have so many options. Even the NAT McCoy, the campaign McCoy, is still a decent option. Christian McCaffrey, the team of the week, is a really nice comparison. I do believe this Kamara is better than McCaffrey, but I don't think he's that much better. And Christian McCaffrey is not that expensive. Obviously, you're getting this for a free card, but when you're looking at somebody that's going to really make a ton of plays for you, when you have one shot, you get one free card. That is why I'm putting him at 7, is because you only get one. You already have a top-end running back, so he would be a second running back. He would be a nice complement to Ricky Williams, but that's what he is. He's a really, really nice complement, a really, really nice back, but he's not going to be one of those backs that, really one of those players that makes the biggest impact. I think he'll make one of the smallest impact, even though I really like Alvin Kamara, and I know people will make the case that he should be higher, and I understand. But he's my number 7. Hope those reasons made sense. Coming in at number 6, I have Gerald McCoy. Now, full disclosure, I put him on my team. I was running Geno Atkins Diamond, and this was an upgrade for me. I did the LT set, and I kept him. I picked Gerald McCoy. I'm like, this is a nice upgrade. He's number 6. Obviously, all these cards are very good. Let's just look at how he compares at his position. Speed, obviously, 67 is not great, tied for 46th. Acceleration at 82, tied for 13th, so that's up there. Strength, tied for 10th, 90, very good. Tackling, 90 plus at 91, tied for 7th. Play rec, 92, is tied for 5th. Block shed at 92, tied for 6th. Power move, tied for 6th. And finesse move is 9th alone at 87. The only defense tackle to have that. So, the question is, why do I have him at number 6? Well, first, he's good, so he's not one of the last ones. I actually believe he is pretty good. And I think some people will say, again, like, I know you can make the case for all of these. They're all very good cards. But I think there's another card in this promo that's a better defensive tackle than he is. That's the problem. I know he's not an actual defensive tackle, but there's somebody else that you could put a defensive tackle who is better than Gerald McCoy. So it's like, okay, so you could use McCoy, but why wouldn't you just get the better card, the one that's a different position, but you can move him inside? That's really the problem. McCoy's obviously very good. They gave him good block shed. He can get secure tackler, which is nice. He has, great power move, good finesse move. So he's very, very good, but it really has to do with the fact that he's not the best at his position, even though technically the other one's not a defensive tackle. You may disagree with that. That's why the comments are there. Leave me comments down below. Next up, I will go with number 5, Jason Peters. Jason Peters gets the 5th. Now, he's obviously, I have him in the middle, and I'll tell you why he's up high, and obviously why he's maybe not the highest. So his strength, 1st at 93 at his position. Awareness, 95, 1st. Pass block, 3rd at 93. Pass block power, 1st with 94. Finesse with 90. Pass block finesse, tied for 6. Run block, 89 is tied for 4th. Run block power, tied for 4th, and run block finesse, 89, all those 89, is 3rd alone there. So obviously, if you look at those numbers, those are very good. First, they're a little deceiving. Generally, offensive linemen, the new offensive linemen, you'll look at them, you look at the legends, they're like way up at the top on all of them. So it's a little bit misleading. It's just offensive line. The top offensive line are just ridiculously good whenever they come out. They got crazy good stats. So I think you look at that and you look like this guy looks like one of the best in the promo. And he is. Obviously, he's in the middle for me. He is very good. The reason why I have him at 5th and not 1st, we'll say, is because he's a left tackle. It's hard to say that he's going to win you a lot of games. I do think he will. I do think having a top-end offensive line is very good this year. But for the position, I think if you look at there's other players out there like a Russell Okung, who is a heavyweight. A lot of the heavyweights are much cheaper. Taylor Lewan, that are cheaper if you were going to buy these cards, so you could get a different left tackle and then use this on someone else. That's really what it comes down to. I think there's a lot of great options at left tackle. Now, Jason Peters does get secure pass protector without having to power up, and that is something to note. So if you're looking for a left tackle that you can just go ahead and throw on secure pass protector without having to power up, all these cards get red Kims without the power up, which is great. But the left tackle generally is not too exciting. I do think it's important. I'm not going to say it's not. That's why he's 5th, even though he is one of, if not the best left tackles in the game. That's my opinion. That's it. Next up, Myles Jack. Now, this one I feel like at number 4, I feel like I've seen all over the place. Some people not a huge fan. Some people really, really love the card. So let's go ahead and talk about let's just look at the stats and we'll make a decision here. Speed at 86 is tied for 1st at the position. Acceleration, 89 is 2nd. Strength, obviously not his game, but I still put that in there just so you can see. Tied for 38th. Tackling, one of the best, tied for 3rd. Play rec, tied for 7th at 91. Block shed, again, not necessarily his expertise, but it's okay. It's respectable, tied for 15th. Power move, finesse move, I left off because I'm like, who even cares? You're not using him that way. His man and zone are both 2nd at the position. I believe his man at 80 is only behind Bobby Bell, and his zone at 86 is only behind Nigel. So he is obviously a great coverage linebacker. That is why he's up here. He is one of the very few linebackers that can actually be good in coverage. I believe he's 4th zone of all linebackers besides Shazier. So I guess 5th if you have Shazier. So he's one of the best coverage linebackers in the game, of any linebackers, whatever position you put him at. The reason why I don't have him higher, for me, I'm not sure he's better than Nigel. I think Nigel is right there with him, and Nigel has 87 zone, much easier to get to 90, which is usually what you want. At 86, you can put lockdown on him. You then got to put Madden or Jacksonville Kim. And some people have Madden. Not everybody. I think most people don't. So most people aren't running a Jacksonville team. So you're going to have this 89 zone, which is still good. But you really want to try to get 90. And if you can get 90, that's still really good. But maybe that makes them higher for you. But for me, I think you got to look at, okay, the players. One, not everybody runs Madden, so you're not going to get them to 90. And also, you have the position where you have a Nigel Bradham out there who has 87 zone, who I think has him with also 86 speed. He's right there. He is a great coverage linebacker as well, and he's only a few hundred K, and you can pick him up again instead of going with one of these other top players. He's still very, very good. He does get a red kim, like he gets secure tackler, which is awesome, or whatever red kim you want to put on him, but I always look at the secure tackler since he does have over 90 tackling. Let me know what you guys think. This is the one I think that is the most, I'm putting him at 4 because I think he's good and he's not. He's great, but you have Nigel out there who's at the same position. You guess you could run both, one on each linebackers. Maybe that's the move. Let me know what you guys think about the Myles Jack. I think most people will say he's pretty good. I'm not sure where you rank him, though. Let me know. Number 3, we got Jurrell Casey. Now, Jurrell Casey, let's just go through the stats real quick. Speed at 70, tied for 76 at the position. Acceleration, tied for 74th. Obviously not great. Strength, tied for 3rd. Tackling, play rec, block shed, all first. Power move, all first or tied for 1st. And then finesse move at 19th. So this card is the best right end in the game. I think you could say he's the best overall right end in the game. It depends on how you're playing. You might say he doesn't really fit maybe your 4-3 scheme, but this is what I was talking about him being. He is better than Gerald McCoy. He's perhaps the best defensive tackle in the game, or he's right there. He is absolutely insane. This card is incredible. I do believe he's the best right end in the game, at least in 3-4, and I think you can make the case he's right there at defensive tackle as well. Move him to the inside. He's a great defensive tackle, and that is why McCoy got knocked down a little bit, was because of this Casey existing. I don't know. I feel like when I look at this card, you can put secure tackle on him. You can do a lot of things with him that I love. I love in my D-line, and I do think he deserves to be towards the top of the list. I am putting him at 3, though, just because I think that the position overall is not as important, and that really is the same thing with Peters. The left tackle is obviously very important, but in the grand scheme, you got 22 players, right? 11 on offense, 11 on defense on the field. I just don't think he's one of the very most important. Maybe that's wrong, but that's why he's number 3, is just because of where I think the importance lies at the right end / defensive tackle position. Coming in at number 2. Number 2, big play Slay, Darius Slay. Let's talk about this card. Coming in at 6 foot, good height there. Speed, 92, tied for 3rd. Remember, Darrell Green came out today too, which is basically ahead of him in everything, so and Darrell Green is obviously way more expensive. Acceleration, tied for 9th, 91. Agility, tied for 16th, also very good. Jumping, 85 is not great, tied for 70th. Play rec, tied for 4th. Man coverage, 91, tied for 11th. Zone, the highest zone in the game, tied for 1st. And the press, tied for 31st. And you're like, that doesn't even look that good compared to other cards, compared to Jason Peters, compared to Gerald McCoy, and I agree at his position, but you have to think how expensive these corners are and how much a top end corner costs. You need 2 or 3 of them on your roster, and he is one of the best. So considering that, the speed to keep up with these really fast wide receivers at 92 stock, and that's before you do anything else, the ability to play man, the ability to obviously play zone, I think overall he's one of the best corners in the game, and as somebody you're going to get for free from just doing the solos, I think he has to be one of your options. Now, with that said, I did the LT set, I got Darius Slay, and I quick sold him for training because I have Pat Pete, I have Dion, and I have AJ Boye because I'm running my Texans team, so he's not going to see the field, so I just got my training for him. So for me, I could make the case he's number 8 because he actually has no use for my team when I'm running 3-4 or maybe nickel, but he will never be on the field. But I think overall, for most people, he will be on the field a majority of the time and will be your best corner, if not your second best corner. I guess at worst, your third best corner. He's going to be one of the best corners on the field, and he'll be able to play really, really well. And I think corner is one of the most important positions because if you have bad corners, you are going to give up really easy touchdowns, and that is not a good time. That's not a good time. So he's number 2. Big play Slay, Darius Slay. And coming in at number 1, perhaps the MVP, maybe it will be Drew Brees, which is funny because I'm trying to figure out if I want to run this guy or Drew Brees. Patrick Mahomes as my quarterback is number 1. And I'm going to talk about it why it's pretty clear that he is number 1. Obviously, a quarterback is probably the most important position on your entire team, so you want to have a good one. And not everybody has Vic. You know, people might be picking up the game, right? If you pick up the game, you haven't had it that long. Patrick Mahomes, I think, is clearly the choice. Let's see. Speed at 79 stock, tied for 24th. Throw power, 94, tied for first, which means he can get Gunslinger as well. Again, Red Kim's available for these cards. Throw short is over 80. That's all that matters. Check mark. Throw mid is over 85. Check. Again, thresholds, he will not miss a throw accuracy short or mid. And throw accuracy deep is 87, which is tied for first, which is wonderful because if you run go deep on him, you throw go deep on him, it upgrades your throw power by +3 if you get it kimmed up, and your throw accuracy deep to 90, which means you also meet the thresholds, which means he's not missing a single throw, assuming he's not under pressure and such. So if you got a clean pocket or able to roll out and not have that pressure kick in, he is going to make every single throw on the field, especially considering that throw power. Throw under pressure is 84. It's tied for 32nd. It's respectable. It's not bad. Throw on the run, tied for 5th. Fantastic. And then play action doesn't really matter too much. Let me know what you guys think of this Patrick Mahomes, because I think he is definitely the best. Now, maybe not the best for you. You might have Vic, and you're like, I like Vic. He's better. And if you have Super Vic with all the thresholds, you spend all these coins, you got him, and now I know he's not that expensive. That's great. Michael Vick is fantastic with that speed. But this Patrick Mahomes, you could pick up right now if you just start the game. You play your solos. It takes you a couple hours. You finish them. You have a quarterback that can make every throw in the game, and that is the most important position on the field. I know it's not for everybody, but I think he's clearly number 1. This Patrick Mahomes is fantastic, and not to mention, you could use the power-up pass on his 86 to 87, and then you just got to buy his team in the week. You got to spend a little bit of training, not too much, and now you have his power-up with 6 times Kim, as well as a Red Kim. Gunslinger is what you probably put on him. I think that's really all you can put. He doesn't get Conductor, unfortunately. You got 99 throw power if you do all this, and it's just absolutely crazy. Or 98, I think it would be. So it would just be absolutely crazy. John Madden 99. The card is amazing, and I don't know if the stats do it justice, but it given thresholds, what they exist, that they exist in the game. Again, that just means they won't miss a throw if they meet those thresholds, assuming perfect circumstances. It will indeed, they'll make the perfect throw. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed doing it. I always love doing the rankings and seeing them. I do believe it does based on your team. I'm not saying you couldn't choose Adam Thielen. I'm not saying Alvin Kamara is not a good choice. All of these are very good cards, of course. So try to be civil in the comments. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy. Like, again, if you appreciated the video or liked it, or I guess, yeah, like if you liked it. Well, thank you guys so much. You guys are absolutely incredible. That's all I got. ChewbaccaLemma.